Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an Excelsior. It's a Tier 5 British premium heavy tank. It's located on the south spawn of Serene Coast, and this one is under the command of Andromeda. And you're going to see 3 replays featuring the same tank and the same player. Game started. Well, you can see Andromeda's got 2 marks of excellence on the barrel of his gun, and he's got the mark showing he's had high calibers in this vehicle before. As you may know from other videos I've done on the Excelsior, it is basically an upgraded Cromwell with extra armour, and it was brought in to replace the Churchill because after the raid on Dieppe in 1942, is it 41? They had problems because the Churchills couldn't get off the beach because of the shingle, and they thought that there was something seriously wrong with the Churchills. They're also fairly slow tanks compared to the Excelsior, which is actually twice as fast. But they decided they thought they needed a new heavy tank, and so they took a Cromwell tank and they gave it much more armour, wider tracks, better suspension, and a 75mm gun, and had a go at that instead. They built 2 prototypes built by English Electric, 2 hulls, and they decided in the end they could fix the problems with the Churchill, and they went ahead and did those. Went ahead with a proven tank rather than one that was basically unproven at the time. Well, it's a very fast firing gun. Normal reload time by the book is 3.64 seconds, and well, he's got it down to 3.14, and he's also aiming onto those tanks on the west side of the map. Now the thing about the Excelsior is that it's got very heavy armour at the front and the rear. Frontal armour is 115mm or 114.3. and 108mm of armour at the rear of the vehicle. The turret's also fairly meaty as well because it's got 115mm as well at the front, 92mm at the sides, and 92 at the rear. So you don't really want to aim for the turret of an Excelsior really, because unless you've got a decent penetration, you're just not going to get through. Okay, enemy AMX-40. Shakes the reticule to get it on target. Andromeda loves playing the Excelsior. He's sent me loads of really good replays in this tank. And it is one of those tanks where you can dominate. I hate to say this, dominate on the battlefield, because Klaus keeps making fun of that term. But it is. I mean, basically, you're paying to win with a tank like this, because it is just so powerful. And although he just took a big round from an Su-85, fired an 85mm into his side, the sides of an Excelsior are the weak spot because they're only 31mm or 32mm, and there he's got another kill. So virtually anything will go through the side of an Excelsior. But from the front, they are very difficult to penetrate, and they're preferential matchmaking, which means you'll only ever see Tier 6 or Tier 5, and that means that you're less likely to come across enemy tanks at Tier 7 who easily take you out. Stug, not going to be able to stand these shots. Yeah, he's gone. Now the alpha of the gun is 110, it'll penetrate 91mm with standard ammo, but you can see that, well, Andromeda's loaded mostly premium ammo. The premium ammo has got even more penetration, it's got 144mm. He's now facing 2 tanks at the same time. A T-40 just derped him for only 20. Now he's got 2 more enemies to deal with around this corner. That Su-85 that hit him earlier just got him in the tracks, but he takes him out with one carefully aimed shot. He's going to do the same to the 60 GFT unless this guy realises he's in trouble. You can't stay there, you are going to die. One more, and now it's the kill shot. Yep, he's gone. So that's 6 kills on the Top Gun, and there's the T-40. And now the T-40 is going to suffer the same fate. And that's another kill shot. 7 kills, and he wins the game with that last shot. A fairly heavily battered Excelsior, but he won the game for his team. So that's the first replay. Let's have a look at the second one. The second replay is on the north spawn of Prokhorovka. Game on. Well, the gun's gone down, so I think he hasn't loaded in yet, or... Ah, no, he's active. Okay, just deciding which way he's going to go. Well, the engine for this beast is a Rolls-Royce Meteor engine, and that may be familiar to you because it's the same engine used on the Cromwell and the Comet. It's basically the same engine that went into the Spitfires, but it lacks the supercharger. So it's been a D-rated Merlin, and they called it the Meteor. V12, generating 620 brake horsepower, and it was a 27 litre petrol engine, or gasoline engine. And in fact, actually, just to give you an idea of how powerful that is, well, the Tiger engine generated 700 horsepower, but was 4 litres less in capacity. That's the Maybach engine inside a Tiger 1. That generated 700 from 23 litres. So it was quite a powerful engine, but it was also quite big in capacity, so fuel usage was quite high. 27 litres is guzzling the fuel. But when you consider the actual facts, this engine actually had nearly twice the power of the Churchill engine. Oh, he's taking fire from the enemy, but they're not getting through his frontal armour. In fact, only the Excelsior managed to hit the tracks, and maybe the BT-7. Ah, the M8A1's finally got him, and so's the Arty. And now he's had to pull back, but he's got a steel wall if he survives the game. He's taking damage from the enemy from every direction. They're all having a go. Oh, Su-76 just hit the gun. Where did he hit him? Can't see where he hit the gun, but he did. Somewhere. Lots of rounds hit him there. Now it's amazing that this tank is on sale in the premium shop, and it's very, very cheap actually. It's one of the cheaper premium tanks because it's only tier 5. KV-1 over there suffering, he's gone. If you want to see the real one, oh, Arty double tap. The M41 and the Su-122A both got him. So 2 hits from the enemy Arty. You can't see the damage. Oh, you can, sorry, right. One of the Arty rounds actually landed on the front plate of the tank. One of the few horizontal surfaces on the front of the vehicle. If you want to see the real Excelsior, there is still one in existence. The second version that was actually created or built is in the Vehicle Conservation Centre at the Tank Museum at Bovington. If you want to have a look, it's still there. It's very heavily armoured. Big slab armour on the sides of the vehicle. M8A1. Oh, he's gone. That's his second kill. And we've got a Squid M43. Can we get a shot at him? No, you're auto-aimed on. The guy's moving forward, so you need to take it off auto-aim. That's it. Manually aim on these guys. Nice. Beautiful. Missed on that one. He's still there though, and he's gone. Okay, now he's going to take on this T6 medium. Easily pen this guy. Except, of course, that guy's got the derp gun, but he dies very quickly. There's the enemy Excelsior. Now, he's using the APCR. Andromeda likes to use APCR, and he's firing back. And the Su-122A speaks up again and hits him. He's just sitting here, and of course he's making it easy for the Arty to hit him. There's only 4 enemies left, 2 Arty, 2 tank destroyers. There's the SU-122A, and that's his last shot. Now potentially he's got the high caliber, because he's got 20% of the enemy hit pool. We've captured the hill, although there's still that SU-76M somewhere around, the tank destroyer. Oh, Stuk 3B. That's a long range shot. And he gets the kill! That's his 4th. Now, can he get the Arty? The M41? It'd be nice if he did, because he'd get the Pascucci's, but he doesn't. But there's the SU-76, auto aims onto him. Let it dial in. And he gets one more. Doesn't get that kill. I'm not sure what he's doing there. Oh, there we go. And that's the last kill of the game. So another victory for Andromeda, but a slightly beaten up version of the Excelsior this time. Let's have a look at the 3rd game. And in the 3rd game, he's on the north spawn of Mountain Pass. Well, this is a tier 5 game, so obviously he's going to really dominate this one. So long as he keeps his frontal armour to the enemy, he should be able to easily smash the enemy tanks. Most of them will lack the penetration to get through the frontal armour of this tank. It's so strong. Well, decided against going down the west side. It looks like he's going to go for the bridge road. And he's got some company. Yes, I think he was thinking about getting these enemy tanks that are already on the ice road. And there's a number of them down there. He's all trying to auto aim onto them, actually. Not a good idea. But he's going to go ahead and auto aim on them anyway. He is taking some damage from them, actually. Oh, gets around into the rear of that Lux. The M10 RBFM was taken out by our Lux. And he actually managed to get around through the turrets of the Lux, and he's gone down. Now, Matilda up ahead. One of the few tanks that can actually penetrate an Excelsior with a 2-pounder squeeze bore. He's trying to close the distance as quickly as he can so he can do as much damage close up. Now that Matilda is in a load of trouble, but oh, here comes the cavalry for him. But it's the Excelsior is side onto him. Okay, managed to get around into the Excelsior. Goes for the turret, for the mantlet. Now he's pumping rounds through the side of the Excelsior. This guy doesn't know that the side is the weak spot. And he's trying to take on 2 tanks at once. He is taking damage. He needs to get rid of that Matilda. He gets him. Now he needs to at least 3 more rounds into the Excelsior. That's 1. That's 2. He's going to leave, well, 2 more after this. And last one. Instead he fires at the Panzer Selbstfahrerfährte 1C. Go for the Excelsior. Get rid of that guy. He compendium. 1 more. And he gets it. His teammate in the Panzer 3J didn't survive, I'm afraid. But oh, now he's got 2 more to deal with. The AMX-40, the Duck. Now he's trying to get through the armour. He does get through the lower plate. Just keep firing in that spot. And he's got him. Okay, Excelsior next. There's another Excelsior. Now he's trying to take the frontal armour. You need to take the side armour if you can. He didn't get that one through. The turret's just as strong as the front, so what you want to do, that's better. He's offering his side now, which is the mistake. Now you can track him and keep pumping those rounds straight through the front drive, and he'll die. It's part of the hitbox. Yep, those rounds are... Yes, and there's the kill shot, came from the M8A1. Still another enemy around the corner. It's another Excelsior, and he's died. That means there's only one enemy left. It's a Matilda, and he's up the other end. He's on the west side. And that's a Matilda 4, the Soviet one, with a 76mm gun. Did he take much damage? Well, yes, again, he's taken a lot of damage and a pounding, but he did come across quite a few enemies who were able to puncture him, the Matilda being the main culprit, I'm afraid. He has earned at least 20% of the enemy hit pool, so he might have a high caliber. And the Matilda 4 is just up ahead. It's got an M10 RBFM for company with a 3-inch gun. Matilda's not going to last long, and he's gone, and that's it. End of game. So let's have a look at the end of battle results for all 3 games. And here's the end of battle results. In the first game on Serene Coast, Andromeda managed to get a first-class tanker in the Excelsior, a duelist, fire for effect, and a hand of God. He picked up battle hero medals. He got the high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, a top gun for getting 6 kills, and he also got a steel wall for blocking the most damage in the game. His win rate from the first one was 11,159. If we look at team score, we can see that he did get the highest damage, 2,340. The nearest one to him was the T67 on the enemy team, 1877, followed by their OI Experimental, who also got a cool-headed and 1,108. When it came to kills, again he got the highest number, 7, just one short of getting a Radley's in this game. 3 kills went to the T6 medium rubber, and the OI Experimental on the enemy team. And when it came to base XP, he's got the tops with 1,366. The nearest player only managed to get, well, nearly half or more than half of his XP, so he really did most work in that game. He fired 40 rounds, 26 direct hits, 25 penetrations, damage of 2,340, of which 482 were at more than 300 meters. Those are the shots he was firing over to the west side of the map. 15 hits received from the enemy, only 4 of which actually penetrated, and the Su-85 was responsible for one of those that went right through the side. 7 non-penetrations and 4 hits by way of splash damage. 705 hit points of damage blocked by armor. 3 enemy vehicles spotted, 10 enemy vehicles damaged, and 7 killed, and he also managed to get 5 capture points. He was in the cap at the end. 60,891 credits earned, but he did fire APCR virtually throughout the game, and as a consequence, he actually made a loss, quite a big loss actually on this occasion, 57,654 credits from that game. But he did get 25 bonds and 2,049 XP, 1,025 for completing a mission, 820 for this being a premium vehicle, took away 3,894 experience points altogether. So yes, a lot of kills in this one, but he did use a lot of premium ammo. Now let's have a look at the second replay. That's Prokhorovka. If you remember, he was up at the centre line most of the time shooting at the enemy. He got a second class tanker in this one. A fighter badge getting at least 4 kills, he got 4 exactly. Shell-proof, duelist, fire for effect, and a bruiser for getting at least 5 critical hits, he managed to get 7. He got a brothers in arms in this one because he was actually in platoon with one of his teammates and they both managed to get at least 3 kills. He also got a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game and a steel wall for blocking the most damage in the game, and he actually earned that very, very early on in the game simply because just about everyone was firing at him as he crested the ridgeline at the centre, and they all saw him and thought, oh yes, we'll take shots at that, but he just couldn't get through his armour. 7,202, slightly less on the win 8 on this one. If we look at the team score, we can see 2,077 hit points was the highest damage. The next high scorer was the M10 RVFM, who got a brothers in arms, and 1,516, that was his platoon mate. And after that, it was the M8A1 on the enemy team, one of the few that actually did penetrate him, and 1,052 hit points of damage to him. When it came to kills, he shared the top spot with the M10 RBFM. Both managed to get 4 kills each. 3 kills went to the KV-1. And when it came to base XP, yes, he's got the top spot again, so he's got the top in all 3 columns. 1,286 went to Andromeda, 942 went to the M10 RBFM, and look at that, the next high scorer only had 532, less than half the score of Andromeda, and that was the Panzer Selbstfahrervetter 1C, who got a Confederate in that game for 701 hit points, which again is nearly a third of the score that Andromeda got. He fired 37 rounds in this game, got 22 direct hits, 20 penetrations, damage of 2,077 hit points, of which 1,128 were at more than 300 meters. A lot of long-range shooting in this game. 24 hits received, 1 penetration out of that. I think it was the M8A1 fired through the side of the vehicle. 19 non-penetrations and 4 hits by way of splash damage. The enemy, Arty, was having a field day. Kept hitting him, and they were doing damage, serious damage to him. He blocked 1,340 hit points of damage in this game. 10 enemy vehicles were damaged, 4 were killed, 776 hit points of spotting assist in this one. He earned 61,364 credits on a premium account, but yet again he was using premium ammo, and he ended up with another big loss in this one. It's 56,310 credits. Yeah, that's a lot of credits to blow on APCR. He probably would have been better off just firing standard AP. He would have penned all the same with that standard AP. 1,929 XP, 772 for this being a premium vehicle, took away 2,701 experience points altogether. So in this one, again, another good win. But again, he's firing too much premium ammo, and he does have the penetration to take out the enemy tanks with standard AP. It's 91mm of penetration, remember, on your standard rounds. Let's have a look at the last game. That was the one on Mountain Pass. On this one, he got another first-class tanker. He also managed to pick up a shell-proof, duelist, a fire for effects, and a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He managed to get 10 in this one. He also managed to get a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, and yet again another steel wall for blocking the most damage in the game. So I keep saying the armor on the front of the Excelsior is very, very strong. It's very OP. If you can actually keep your front to the enemy, they'll keep firing at it and they'll keep bouncing their rounds, because if you're in a preferential matchmaking tank and you get a tier 5 game, yes, they're going to suffer, because they're not going to find it very easy to punch through your armor, unless of course you're in a Matilda or another Excelsior, and that's what he came across. Both of those tanks, in fact he came across 3 Excelsiors, but only 2 of them actually fired at him. His win rate from this one, 8,664, which is, well, in between the other two. 2,600 hit points of damage, the highest damage in the game. The next highest scorer was the Matilda 4, which was the one up the west side. 1,281 to him, because he's OP as well in his armour, but he was up against tanks which weren't able to take him out until he got mobbed. The Panzer IV Aslains H managed to get 1,205 hit points on his own team. The M5A1 Stuart got an Orlix, and the Lux managed to get a Confederate. When it came to kills, it was the M5A1 Stuart did the best with 4 kills. Then comes Andromeda with 3 alongside the Panzer IV-H. That's the first time he's been off the top. And when it came to base XP, yes, he's back at the top again with this one, 1,455. The next high scorer being the Panzer IV Aslains H, who managed to get 729. So less than, well, slightly more than half of the score that he managed to get. And the Lux managed to get 655 from that one as well. So the rest of his team weren't really performing up the standard that Andromeda did, but then Andromeda does have an OP premium tank. He fired 41 rounds in this game, 34 direct hits, 26 penetrations, damage of 2,600 hit points, of which 185 were up more than 300 meters, so much more close range shooting in this one. 23 shots received, only 10 of which actually penetrated and 13 non-penetrations. He blocked damage of 1,115 in total. 2 enemy vehicles spotted, 7 enemy vehicles damaged, 3 killed, and 541 hit points of damage assist. In this game, on a premium count, he earned 70,971 credits. He got 65,000 for completing a mission, total 135,971 credits altogether. And yes, he still fired a fair amount of premium ammo, as you can see in this one, but because he got that extra reward, he actually made a profit on this game of 37,931. Without that reward, he would have made a loss, but it would have been a smaller loss of only about 25,000 credits. He got 25 bonds as well. 2,182 XP times 2 for the first victory, 873 for this being a premium vehicle, and took away 5,238 experience points altogether. So yeah, I think you can tell that Andromeda really likes his Excelsior, and it does give him really good results. So I would definitely recommend getting one of these tanks and just trying it out, because even if you don't particularly like the British heavy line, you can train your crews in this vehicle and then transfer them to another vehicle afterwards. So it's well worth having an Excelsior, even if it's just to train crews, and then convert them into artillery crews later on if you want. But it really does help, because this tank is so OP, generates so much experience points. You can definitely get your crews up to speed, so you've got top performance crews for your British line. I hope you enjoyed those 3 replays. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below, because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.